John, you want me to admit these people as they come in?
Yeah, you can. If you want to maybe get the commissioners in first so we can make sure we got everybody's audio okay.
Okay, I'm just looking here. I don't see them there yet. I'll admit them first.
Yeah, at some point we lost Andrew.
He was on the meeting. I think he has a class now, John.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether he's calling back in or not. I'll look for his number. We have 7 minutes before the meeting starts, but I'm looking to see who else is coming in.
Okay.
And then I can just admit everybody as they come in.
Yeah.
I'd like to begin this meeting with recognition. Dr. Rocco would like to present.
Yes, it is my honor to recognize a resident of a community that had a business in our community, Dr. James T. Campagna. Dr. Campagna has been a doctor and physician in our community for over 38 years. He's retired, and we just wanted to thank him for his service to the people of the community, certainly, and not only of just this area, Elizabeth Township, but of course, a broad area. And as we will we'll present him with a citation of commendation for his work as a physician in our area, and not only just helping to support the health and well-being of all involved. And I think if anyone knows at this time the importance of our healthcare workers and what they do for us. Again, we just want to thank him and commend him for his years of service. That's it, Dr. Walk. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rocco, and thank you, Dr. Campagna. Dan, did you hear anything from Mike?
Yeah, it'll be next month, he said.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
I try to keep this part of the meeting upbeat, but this is the appropriate time to announce this. It's the Christmas events, the Christmas parade and so forth have to be canceled due to coronavirus. So that's your official announcement. So we won't have anything going on this year. I'd like to acknowledge an executive session meeting tonight at 5:45 to discuss litigation and real estate. All right, department reports. We begin with code enforcement.
Okay, outside of my written report, I really don't have much at the moment. I'm gonna let Greg brief the board on an update to the township's website. We're gonna be switching over and redoing our entire website. Greg?
Thanks, John. Thanks, President Walk. I just wanted to let the residents know that we're working on we're about 3/4 of the way done with a brand new township website. So the old site's about 5 years old, needs some updates. So we decided to completely rebrand it. We're going to make it easier to navigate, more secure, and it's ultimately going to contain more information like videos and photos. And I think it'll represent the township very well. It should be done in about a week, but it'll always evolve into a better website. It's easier to add things for the staff and then easier to access things for the residents. Also, internally, we've started an initiative with global information systems. So we've created about a dozen maps where we're going to start to inventory all of our assets in the township. That's anything sanitary, stormwater, code enforcement, just about anything you can think of. So the reason I bring that up is a lot of that information will be available on the website eventually for the public. I have interactive maps so you can find different things. And it might help answer questions, and it's going to help us internally to make informed decisions about infrastructure, stormwater, code enforcement. So that's the update. All that should be coming together within the next week or so. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. That's really some amazing work. That I know you and John have been hammering this for a while, and keep it up. That's all I can say, guys. Been doing really well.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Eric and John from KLH, the engineers report, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. The sanitary sewer project, the bids have been awarded. Contract 2020-01 has been awarded to WA Tracus. Contract 2020-01A has been awarded to Alex Paris. Both contractors have indicated to us that they will be on site November 16th to begin work. The township has received the licensing agreement from CSX for execution. Penvest held their meeting here a couple weeks ago. The township was awarded a low interest loan in the amount of $17,300,000 for the pump station portion of the project. We're in the process of doing a final internal technical review, and we should have the project ready for advertisement by mid-November. The consent order and agreement, the township has received its approval of its tap request of 24 taps for 2020 and 2021. And one final item is Tresco has completed their paving contract. There's only some minor punch list items that remain, and we'll make sure that those get addressed. That concludes our report, everyone, unless there's any questions.
Any members of the board have any questions for John Maury from KLH?
No.
Before we move on, I want to commend Eric and Matt again. Folks, you can't believe the amount of time that these two men have put into these easements and the negotiations, and it has been one thing after another, up and down and up and down. And thank you both so much for your efforts above and beyond. And it's going to happen, and I can't believe it's going to happen. It's amazing. Way to go. Way to go, you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
Sergeant Simba, Acting Chief Simba, police report, please.
You guys have my monthly report. I have nothing else to add to that. If anybody have any questions regarding that.
Any questions?
No.
Dennis, are you here? Billy?
I am. Thank you. You all have our written report. For the month of October, we treated a total of 24 million gallons for an average daily flow of about 0.77 million gallons. We disposed of 165,000 gallons of sludge to McKeesport, and all effluent parameters were within permit limits. I can address any questions on the report.
Any questions for Dennis O?
No.
If none, we move on to our committee reports. I have a committee report from MS4 committee, which is a committee that we've just recently started. It's going to deal with stormwater. Just to make the public aware, the Department of Environmental Protection has mandated that all municipalities in Pennsylvania have a stormwater plan, and we, Greg Butler and John Nelson, have graciously volunteered to spearhead this committee. It's a whopper. The members are myself and Dr. Roderick and Rich Algieri. We met last Friday to begin overview on what we need to do to get into compliance. This will also be done in conjunction with John Maury and KLH. So we are moving in that right direction. It's at the very beginning stages, but we're moving. Budget and Finance Committee, just briefly, they are in the process of getting ready to prepare the 2021 budget. As the public is to be made aware that meeting, that will be a special meeting that will be conducted very soon to begin the budget preparation process. That meeting will be publicly advertised. And so I know there were a few people that are asking me if they could attend, and certainly you can. It will be advertised soon. Any other committee reports?
Just an update on the Comprehensive Plan Committee. We already had one meeting. We have another meeting this Wednesday night. I think they were very productive. We had, they were about almost an hour and a half for each meeting. And we'll have two in November, one on this Wednesday night and then another one coming up. So I'll keep you posted, but the meeting went well and was well attended.
Very good. Thank you for that.
Mr. President, I believe you missed a department report for the street department and solicitor.
Oh, I did indeed. I jumped right over them. Department of Public Works, Paul.
Yeah, I only have there's a few things. The Penniman Drive, we finally got that opened up again after removing a large amount of material off that hillside. Anytime it rains, we're still observing that to make sure that we don't get any more material sliding down from the top that we could not reach. So anybody sees anything, let us know so we can address that. The leaf pickup, we actually started last week on that because the leaves have fallen earlier. And we are going around with picking up the leaves. And a reminder that the bins have been moved at the municipal building. They're on the side towards the bank. So if any residents need to drop off, they are at the entrance next to the bank. You'll see the concrete block bins. Paving contractor is finishing up on his stuff. If anybody has any complaints or problems, just call my phone office and let me know, because I've only got 1 or 2 complaints so far, which the contractor, I think, did a very nice job so far. And the salt bin construction's underway, our part that we have to do. That's our, right now, between the leaves and the salt bin, that's our major projects going on right now. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Paul. Any questions for the Department of Works, Public Works?
Thanks, Paul, for your help on the Penniman. Appreciate doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Solicitor report?
I have nothing other than the items that we already discussed in executive session.
All right, thank you, Matt. Then I jumped ahead of myself. Any other committee reports? Or we move on to citizens to address agenda items. You there, John?
Yeah, I received no emails from anybody. I don't know if anybody here has anything that they want to bring in now.
Anybody waving here?
Yeah, me, Carol Daly. I sent the email.
Who did you send it to, Carol?
I didn't know who else to send it to. I sent it to Joelle.
No, if you looked on the link, we changed the email for this meeting to my email.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's
I'm
okay.
having
It's
okay,
okay.
I'm having problems with my computer. It's overlaying, so I can't read it.
Okay. Oh, you're on an Apple.
Yeah.
Okay, that's part of the problem we're having with our website.
Okay, can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, Carol Daly. First off, I just wanted to know where I can see the 2019 audit. Since 2009, 7 engineering firms have been consulted for the 537 Act. The contractors are 8 and 9. We have KLH, and we are paying Senate Engineering Firm on behalf of the Trails Consult, plus the contractors. That's 4 firms. Why do you need a 5th person, and at what cost? I'm talking about the clerk of works. How many bites of the apple does this take? There's no need for this clerk. If you don't trust these firms, then why are we paying them? I hope you will do the right thing, save us money, and not hire anyone. If you do, I'm sure you've already conducted a good background check and their complete resume. On item number 14, I told you before, Megan McDonough submitted a solar residential and commercial curative amendment almost 3 years ago. Our codes do not address zoning rules for them. Therefore, her amendment would cure the absence and declares ours inadequate. I asked my attorney, and yes, Matt, it's a curative amendment. Matt will present an argument that he talked with Megan, but is it written as a written consent? No, it wasn't. When a curative amendment is submitted, the time clock starts ticking. The code officer reviews it to see if the items such as height, noise, parking, et cetera, is included, and it is to our codes. If it is, the applicant, like Megan, should have presented it to the commissioners. They then voted to submit it to the planning commission. They, in writing, may ask to add or remove items, but it's up to the applicant to oblige to their request. If Megan doesn't have to, as long as it follows the requirements. Planning cannot add or delete, and I'm going to stress this. They cannot add or delete anything without her permission. The planning can vote to either recommend it or not recommend it, but they must send to the commissioners in writing what the vote was and why they voted. It is planning also, not the commissioners, to send that amendment to the county. The hearing date is then set. All this occurs within either 60 days or 180 days. But this was not done according to the law, and I keep telling you this. I have an email from a planning member remarking about the Fiore property. Why does Matt want the commissioners, not the planning committee, to take a vote to send his text amendment to the county? There's got to be a reason for it. Why? Megan submitted hers in either February, March of 2018, during that push for those 2 text amendments for Castor's parcels that never met the code. And I also believe it was during that time for the pipelines. Her amendment without her permission was submitted to the county without the commercial aspect. In 2019, she complained and asked when she would have her hearing and was told by Fawcett, well, why don't you go ask the commissioners? She did receive her $500 back. Now, I want to know why Fawcett talked to her and told her to talk to the commissioners. Yes.
We just reached the 3-minute mark.
Sum it up.
All right. All right. So I'm going to ask you not to vote on this. It's not your job. That's all.
Thank you, Carol. Are there any other comments for agenda items? If not, we move on to resolutions. We'll ask for a motion to adopt resolution 2020-19 authorizing the purchase of a 2020 Ford F-550 chassis and aluminum dump body at the cost of $78,955.90 with financing from Northwest Bank at the fixed rate of 2.75% for 60 months. Asking for a motion.
So moved.
I'll
Second.
second. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to adopt resolution 2020-20, approving the updated emergency operations plan for Elizabeth Township as submitted by Emergency Management Coordinator.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
yes,
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. We go to ordinances. Motion to advertise an ordinance amending chapter 26 of the Elizabeth Township Code for regulating stormwater.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
I'd like to have a little bit of an explanation / discussion here. John and Greg, I know you guys have been doing a lot of work on this. For the public's information, can you go over this?
Yeah, our current stormwater ordinance goes back many years. I believe back in 2018, Allegheny County had amended and adopted a new stormwater management ordinance. And we're going to be redoing ours that will pretty much model the counties and bring us up into current compliance, at least with the counties and MS4 regulations.
Anything to add to that, Greg?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Okay, now is that something that you have to work with John and KLH, John Lowry and KLH?
Yeah, we will be reaching out probably to Veronica and going over that. We had discussions several years ago about adopting it and redoing ours, and through course of time, it just kind of went by the wayside.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion. Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
yes,
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. The following begins our items for discussion. The first is, there's been a lot of discussion about using a payroll company, ADP. Who'd like to go first on this, as far as what you know?
I'll talk a little bit about it first.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
So we've had several Zoom meetings with ADP, myself and Bart Rocco. We've consulted with Andrew, basically the Finance and Budget Committee. And a couple reasons we wanted to do this. One is cost savings. Based on conversations with Joelle in the past, it's taken her sometimes a day, sometimes 2 days to do payroll. With this new system, it's going to be really simple for them to, submit the request to ADP electronically. And then where Joelle, it took her a lot of time, was then filling out the spreadsheets for Excel. This will automatically input back into Excel for her. So it's going to be instantaneous. So it's going to save a lot of time. There's just a lot of nice features for it. They'll be able to access it, employees on their cell phone for their payroll. They can still do the ACHs for automatic deposits, or they can do a payroll check if they still want. One of the key things too is right now, we don't know how we're tracking overtime, or not overtime, sorry, vacation days, sick days. This is going to track everything for us. It's just going to make it really simple. And Bart, if you want to add a few things.
Yeah, I think one of the things, I think it may help the department folks, the chief and Paul, certainly with your staffs, to monitor and regulate those vacation and sick days. One of the things too, I mean, the technology is so far advanced, I mean, that folks can actually, depending on how we want to set this up, will be able to check in using their iPhones. They have a GPS login that can go like no longer than 100 feet from the municipal building, where people can actually, they can log into work. You can only do it like, 5 minutes before, 2 minutes before you come to work. One of the things I thought was really kind of powerful is that the individual said that the check-in actually saves money for the township, because people will be working their hours as indicated. So it's a much more efficient way to do operations. I think there were some concerns we know that Joe Help had regarding uploading to QuickBooks. That was actually not a point at all. I mean, this program is fairly adaptable to any software program. We just felt that it was, I'm in support of moving in this direction. I think it's an effective and efficient way to manage payroll. And again, the big thing is monitoring this vacation and sick time for our employees. I mean, it gives them the opportunity for them themselves to monitor, but also for the folks to monitor at the township. So again, there's a lot of advantages to moving in this direction. And I think the folks from ADP would be willing to come out to speak to the board if necessary. But again, I did not see I really did not see a negative side of this whole process. I didn't.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rocco. I have one comment and then a question. My comment too is that this also provides another layer of separation, or as they call it in accounting, segregation. So the various levels of segregation are concerns because they prevent the potential for fraud. My question is, has there been any numbers applied to this yet? Do we have any concrete facts established?
Right now, depending on the number of employees per payroll, it'll be anywhere from $425 to $500 per month.
Okay. All right.
Is that right, Bart? That's what you saw?
Yeah, and again, obviously they have a complete HR and personnel package that, if we would be interested in doing, which we're not, we're just looking at the payroll piece. So it was about, I think about $4,300, Dan, something like that a year.
For the year, yeah.
Yeah, for the year.
All right.
Which was really, I thought, fairly reasonable for that level of expertise. And I think technology advantage for our employees. I mean, one of the other things just to mention, they said if folks don't have checking accounts, they actually could, if you don't, a lot of folks maybe don't have one, some of the employees, they have actually a check card that they would issue that would automatically deposit money on that card, monthly or whatever the people get paid every 2 weeks, so that they could use that card as their checking card. I mean, that's just like a pretty neat opportunity for those folks that maybe don't have a checking account.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So are there any objections to putting this on for motion?
My only question was, were the police addressed, like the different rates and, if somebody's a patrolman and works a sergeant, works for a sergeant or whatever, and if they get the sergeant's rate, is there a way that they can distinguish that? Is there a way that it gets entered at what their rate is?
They said yes. There won't be any issues. They do the workers at the mills that have all the different shift pays.
I think they just signed up Jefferson Hills, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they have municipalities, so this is not.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
Okay.
We did ask that. That's a great question.
All right. So if there's no objection from the board, we're going to put that on to vote on that for next month, so we'll get it moving along. Okay. Tax abatement for new construction. Just an overview for the public. We're hoping in the near future with our comprehensive plan to open up residential and commercial construction throughout the township. There's been some programs that Allegheny County has put forth, had to do with tax abatement for new construction. This is a wonderful idea. This can really spur. And so Dan, take it away.
Yeah, so I've talked to Matt Rakunas. He's actually reached out to the school district, nothing formal yet, but we wanted to get the okay from the commissioners to move forward with this. What we're looking at is to spur new construction, not additions on homes, but actually new construction of either residential or commercial properties. And what we're hoping is, long-term plan is to, have a lot more residents here and build a bigger tax base. So Matt's going to kind of work out some of the details with school district and the county to figure out how long we'd like to go, whether it's a scaling, like so many years with no taxes and maybe 25%, 50, 75, 100. So we're trying to work through that right now and see what makes sense. But the whole thing is to spur new construction.
Now, I think this is a wonderful idea, and I don't want to see this go away. And our discussion tonight has to have some end result. So do we take this back to committee, Matt? How are we going to
No,
move?
I mean, at this point, so I reached out to the solicitor for the school district and discussed the idea. He's going to bring it up to the district at their next meeting. He feels that they'll be supportive. And then he's already done this in one of his other municipalities. So instead of, I'm just going to rely on him. He has all the ordinances and paperwork that's necessary should we decide to do it. So that kind of shortcuts everything because he's done it before. So I just need a consensus. I don't even need a vote. I just need a general, yes, it's okay for me to keep reaching out to him. Again, I'm on a flat fee, so it doesn't cost us anything. I just want to make sure it's okay, though, to continue to have that discussion pending the school board's approval of it. And then I'll work with him to prepare whatever documents and move it forward. Again, it's going to be, I think we were talking about doing a 10-year abatement that would sort of start with a bigger abatement at the beginning and then almost phase its way out the longer it goes on. Just to kind of spur that new construction and hopefully bring some interest into the township.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm for it, obviously.
Yep. Are there any objections to allowing Matt to move on with this? Okay, Matt, there you go. There's your consensus.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Next item for discussion, code vehicle / emergency management vehicle. Guys, we need to pull the trigger on this. This has been going on now for 3 meetings. We have to decide what we're going to do here. The other part of this is that the emergency management vehicle that's out there right now is a F-150 pick-em-up truck that is not inspected and it is on its last leg and is actually on the list to go to municipal. And so it will be gone here soon. We need to get a vehicle here for code. And John, before we start, I'd like you to talk about how that would work. So if code gets a new vehicle, then your vehicle goes to Greg and his vehicle goes to emergency management. Is that what I remember?
Correct. Greg, I'm currently using a vehicle that I was given by the police department, a 2014, basically a Ford Explorer. That would go down to Greg, and the vehicle that he's currently using, which is a 2010 Ford Explorer, would then be transferred to emergency management.
Okay. So we're talking about purchasing a new Ford Explorer, a 2021 or a 20?
2021.
2021 Ford Explorer to be used by code. This will only require what type of add-ons, John? How much did you guesstimate the add-ons?
No more than like $3,500. That includes striping, getting the console in there, and getting some items for it, because obviously a lot of the items will just stay on the current vehicle.
Okay. Do you have a number that you've researched for this vehicle?
Yes, I did get a quote on the CoStars, which is the state contract pricing. I also checked, and the chief checked too, the SHACOG bids are not in yet. They're going to be for the 2021 year. They have not received those back yet. The base vehicle price is $33,335.
Okay, so we're looking around 36 to 37,000 with your add-ons.
Yeah, and that's still, this is it's the police package vehicle, which is still about $10,000 cheaper than a regular off-the-lot Explorer, even on the state contract pricing.
Okay. Comments from the commissioners?
Yeah, I have a question for the chief. Chief, do you have any SUVs that are going to be coming off soon that we'll be replacing?
So I have one. It's the same year as what John has right now. It'll probably be coming out of service next year. It has 99,140 miles on it right now. So
hard miles.
But hard. Well, I mean, it's the SRO car. I mean, he's assigned that car. He takes care of that car. He's pretty meticulous about it. He's been up good with maintenance on it. It's still in pretty good shape. But I mean, I just got quotes from Jeff Decker at C Harper today. He's also CoStars, and for the Ford SUV, John, we're $30 cheaper through our quote through C Harper than what you got. So I don't know if that means anything to you. It's only $30, but it is $30.
Well, that just proves you both did your job. Way to go. That's great.
Yeah.
I would lean more towards next year, maybe taking the car and move that over. Since we got to replace it anyways.
1,000 miles.
Yeah. We have a mechanical staff that we pay.
Then why are we moving it?
Take it from police to code enforcement or to emergency management.
Well, emergency management cars just can sit there, so they don't need a brand new one.
Yeah. Do they technically need one, or can we pay them mileage?
No, this is to be there during an event. So that thing might not get used for a year, but when it's to be used, it has to be ready and fully ready to go with radio and the whole 9 yards.
Is that a requirement, Cal? I'm not sure. This is new to me.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. John, can you address that more?
The vehicle is used by emergency management to go out and do damage assessments, check up on scene when there are events. A lot of times, especially our more common events, severe weather, floods and everything, they're not localized to one area of the township. They're fairly widespread, and sometimes, especially during some of the flood events, the only way to access some areas is by use of the trail. So it's very handy having a marked vehicle to go down there other than a personal vehicle.
Hey, Kyle, this is Andrew. I would feel comfortable just moving forward and voting on the vehicle for $33,000 tonight.
The only other thing I could say is the 2010, the 2010 Explorer would get a lot less use and miles being switched to emergency management, being used on a daily basis by code enforcement. I don't think we'd get as long out of that vehicle as we would as if it switched to emergency management and it gets more downtime, because that vehicle too is also starting to show its age.
Then next year, we're gonna have an SUV coming from the police department. And what are we gonna do with that?
That could possibly recycle one of the other vehicles if we would need it, or keep a spare vehicle or something, whatever the commissioners would decide to do with it.
I would be in favor of putting that one on municipal bid, because we had 2 police cars, 2 Tauruses. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and we were offered $600 by a resident for them, and we put them on municipal bid. We got $5,000, and I was in a state of shock at the amount of money that municipal bid brings. And John, I don't think that you should be driving a car that has 100,000 miles from the police department.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it too.
I personally like to see us put the money towards a newer police car and then rotate through that way. That's more of your necessity as a police car, in my opinion.
Rob, want to weigh in here?
Yeah, I'm mixed on it. I mean, I would like to see what the budget comes, but I mean, if you guys look at your fleet condition in the Chief Simba's report, we have car number 3, 4, 7, and 8 that are 100,000 miles or better. So, I'd like to see what we got in the budget, what we're paying on cars now, because I mean, sometimes we buy 3, 4 cars at a time, and I don't know where we're at in the cycle of, what's paid off and what's not, and what we're going to do next year. So I'm not against it. I just would like to have all the numbers and all the facts and put it into the budget. Then, maybe kick this over to next month and go from there. But, I agree with, Commissioner Algieri. I think we need to sit down and have a discussion, with Chief Simba. It is concerning when you have 4 cars out of a fleet of 10 that are over 100,000 miles. So that's kind of, because in the past, don't forget, guys, those 4 cars were bought at the same time. You know what I mean? And the problem when you buy 4 cars at the same time, then you end up needing 4 cars at the same time. So that's kind of what my opinion is on it.
Yeah. I just don't think we're ready for this. It's a COVID year. We're still figuring out the budget. I just think we need to wait.
All right.
Well, emergency management definitely needs a vehicle that he can get around because winter's coming. And I don't know how much snow we're getting, but I remember that one year, that car was on the road all the time, checking on things because we had so much snow that one year. I think Bob Kiefer was still on the board then, and it was really bad. And that car got used a lot. So he does need a vehicle that's dependable. And we've always bought 2 police cars every year. So for what it's worth.
On this pickup truck that EMA is using at this point, Ford 150, the F-150 is a 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive,
It's 4-wheel.
but it's not inspected, correct?
No, and right now, we went to get some stuff out of it. It's dead right now. It won't even start.
All right.
That's the problem because the vehicle sits for so long. They only drive it during emergencies. It's always gonna have issues, whether it's a new one or an old one.
Well, it does get used. I mean, it doesn't just sit there. I mean, the road crew will use it to pick up parts. I've used it. Greg's used it. If our vehicle's in the shop, we have no other vehicle. So that's our fallback vehicle, and we have no other spare vehicles at the municipal building other than the EMA truck. That's all we got as a spare for pretty much everybody.
So the other thing I'd like the board to think about is the generation, how much money is being generated by code enforcement going out and doing all these inspections, right? These guys need these vehicles because they're out there doing things that are making money for the township. Please, we got to get this settled. We can't just keep kicking this can.
I think in the next couple of weeks, like I said, we're gonna be sitting down going through the budget. I think there's no point. We can wait another month. Let us look through the budget.
All right. We're gonna have, that's number one on the next one. We gotta get this done. And then maybe we'll see, maybe by then the COG will have their information and we can get another pricing from them. And while we're talking about cars, Sergeant Simba, do you anticipate the need to order cars again for 2021?
I'd like to at least get back on track, order 2 a year, start a program to where we get 2 a year. Because, 2 of the vehicles that have over 100,000 miles on are the Tahoes that we bought in 2015. So I assume those will probably last hopefully till 150,000 miles. They're still all in good shape. So I'd like to get on track with 2 a year.
So the 2 high mileage ones are the Tahoes. Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments about vehicles on the board? Okay. So next is the sale of these vehicles and equipment on municipal. If you look at your sheet, there's a trailer. Number one is a trailer. This trailer was originally used by DPW, but it wasn't a big enough trailer to haul the asphalt, the paver. So that's got to go, Paul. You have no use for it. Is that correct?
Yeah, we don't need 2 of them. That was part of the deal. If we get a new one, we would get rid of the old one. It should bring a decent buck.
Yeah. All right. So I do have a question on why you're getting rid of that snow plow. I know plows take a beating. Is there no reason, some reason you're not keeping that for a spare?
It's an oddball. That truck was replaced 4 years ago.
So
that
it's
was
in there.
And the plow didn't go with it.
Okay. It can't be used on any other truck then?
No, it's completely odd.
All right, well, you're recommending we get rid of all this stuff. I guess we do. Since we don't have an emergency management truck right now, do we hold that off of municipal bid for the time being, John, and have a mechanic fire that thing up and see why it's not running?
To make it usable, we're gonna have to put the money in it to get it inspected. I mean, it's not road legal right now.
There's only 73,000 miles on it.
Yeah, but it's a
2008.
It's
2008.
08. Yes, 08.
Yeah.
It's a rust bucket.
Yeah, the body's in real bad shape. I know that we've had one of the last times I had to use it when my vehicle was in the shop, I actually had to have the street department pick me up and have it towed back to the township building.
All right, sell them, get rid of them. We're out of here. Anybody have any other comments about these items on municipal bid?
No.
I'm out of here. Okay, anybody else have any item for discussion before we move on?
Cal, do you want me to talk about the lots that we own or wait for the next meeting?
What do you think, Matt? We talk about Arrowhead at this point?
I'll do that. Somebody will eat it.
Matt, we talk about Arrowhead at this point?
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay.
All right.
You may go ahead, Cal.
Go ahead.
Okay, the township currently owns 38 lots up off of Arrowhead Drive. They're located on Fallers Road, Orchard View Drive, and Lookout Drive. And what we're looking to do is we're getting a estimate value right now for each of them. And we want to put them up for sale. Hopefully in the December meeting, we can get the approval to do that. And so basically we have 37 lots, residential lots we're looking to sell at the township.
Pretty awesome.
Yep.
Any other comments about that from the commissioners? Okay, time to start reading. Matt, I'm going to add a motion. Should I do this right away? This is about the Wildcat Hollow.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Just make sure you open up to the public for comment.
All right, I'll do that. So I apologize. This one went by me, but this motion is to eliminate ordinance 947, making Wildcat Hollow Road a one-way street. So I'm asking for a motion.
I'll make the motion, Kyle.
I would
I'll
need,
second it.
all right, and Joanne second. So discussion on the motion. Matt, do we ask the public first for a comment?
Yep. Public first.
Is there anyone in the public that would like to comment on this? I know this is crazy without. Unmute yourself if you'd like to, if you want to make a comment. Okay, discussion on the motion. Again, this was changed approximately a year and a half ago to one way up the hill to prevent speeding through Wildcat Hollow Road. The unintended consequence was it's made it less convenient for people to pull in and out of the post office. Personally, I would never sacrifice convenience for safety. I will be voting no on this. So you get my attitude. I think it should stay the same because this is a safety issue. The folks that are inconvenienced also feel that it is difficult to make a turn to the right at the top of Wildcat Hollow. I've done it several times. I own a Tahoe. It is not a problem. You can stay in your own lane. Any other discussion on this motion?
Yeah, this is Andrew's ward. I'd like to get Andrew's opinion based on what his residents are saying.
Yeah, sure. So I originally voted for this ordinance last year, as designating the entire road one way, because one of a number of the residents that lived along there complained about speeding, and I was in favor of it because it was a safety issue. But I have heard nothing but complaints about it since that time. And a couple of months ago, I received a petition, and I thought that there may be 5 or 10 people that signed it. It was, I believe, 86 people that wanted it reversed. And there aren't that many people that live in Buena Vista. So despite whatever I voted last year and despite however I feel, I have to do what the majority wants. So if I have 86 residents that want it, then that's what I'm going to vote for.
So I'm going to call on Sergeant Simba to tell the public what you told the board earlier.
So I actually went down there and talked to all the residents that live on Wildcat Hollow. I believe there's 5 houses down there. One person was not home. The one person, it doesn't matter to him what you guys do. And then 2 family members that live down there, they're okay with the way it is now. And I didn't get to talk to the last guy that lives on the roadway, but he's the guy that petitioned Andrew to have it changed to the one way. So I know where he stands on that. So, I mean, it's entirely up to you guys what you want to do. We can go down there. You know, we painted lines down there last time to try to check speed. Unfortunately, we really didn't get a chance to do it before it was already changed to a one way. So we haven't had any accidents down there recently. And most times when we do have accidents, it's people on Green Oak Buena Vista crashing into the bridge abutment right there at Wildcat anyways. So it's completely in your hands what you guys want to do.
Tough one, y'all, but here we go. Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
No.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poirier,
Yes.
President Walk.
No. Vote carries 5-2. That ordinance will now be rescinded. Okay, now we move on. Motion to approve Commissioner meeting minutes dated October 5, 2020.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poirier,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Number 2, motion to approve the general fund bill warrant dated November 2nd, 2020 in the amount of $498,126.67.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poirier,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Number 3, motion to approve the sanitary fund bill warrant dated November 2nd, 2020 in the amount of $162,280.87.
Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poirier,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Number 5, motion to approve sanitary bond requisition number 78 in the amount of $59,937.38.
Kyle, you missed number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's okay.
I miss one every week.
That's okay. Keep you honest.
Number 4, motion to ratify approval of sanitary bond requisition number 77 in the amount of $642,600.
So moved.
Second?
Question on the motion as in an explanation. Matt, I believe these are our easement payments. Is that correct?
That's correct. Those are the payments for the acquired rights of way and easement agreements for the sanitary project. Yep.
So just for the public's knowledge, it's $265,000 to Regional Trail Council via Omega Rail. Bringing $255,000 to Durabond and $150,600 to CSX. That about sum it up, Matt?
That about sums it up.
Okay, big pile of money for easements, but you gotta have them. All right, roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to approve sanitary bond requisition number 778 in the amount of $59,937.38.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to approve final payment to Morgan Excavating for work completed on the Greenwald Farm Store Sewer Improvements Contract number 2018-06 as recommended by KLH Engineers in the amount of $6,434.63. This will be a capital expense.
So moved.
So moved.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Number 7, motion to approve payment to Traffic Systems and Services in the amount of $4,108.75 for controller replacement at the Boston Bridge and Route 48 signal light.
So moved.
So moved.
Roll call.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes.
You forgot me.
Oh, sorry, Commissioner Poyer.
Yes.
Number 8, motion to ratify appointing Jamie Montgomery as temporary township signatory.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to approve, deny conditional use application submitted by Harry Bauman for the use as a single-family home at 139 Bell Street.
I'll make a motion to
make-
approve.
I'll second
Second.
the motion.
Are there any questions on this? Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to ratify easement agreements with Durabon Coatings and CSX Transportation. Easements needed for the Force Main project.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to ratify agreement with Regional Trail Corporation, Force Main project. Need a motion?
So moved.
Come on.
Second.
Dan, second by Dr. Rocco. Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Thanks. Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
No.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Number 12, Matt, we've kind of slightly reworded this. Do we have to do anything special about this?
You got to read the motion because the computer I had that had the agenda on it just ran out of batteries. So what's item 12?
With Maxon Construction and Dave Masiosi.
Yeah, a motion to award it to Maxon Construction and Dave Masiosi at the rate of $150 an hour.
To be monitored by the board.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to read that again. This is motion number 12, which has been slightly changed from the agenda. Motion to retain Maxon Construction and Dave Masiosi as clerk of works for the Force Main project at a rate of $150 per hour to be monitored by the board.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion on this motion. We've been round and round about this. Carol Daly also brought it up, so other people were paying attention to it. I still need to be convinced that this is necessary in order to vote for this. Would somebody now please convince me of that? Please convince me. I guess you don't have to.
Well, but the only thing that I would say is in our discussions in this regarding this issue, obviously I'm certainly cognizant of the fact that this is a multi-million-dollar job. I think having someone that represents us independently and is a voice for us, I believe will hold some costs down as far as change orders and the like. And again, it's no difference to KLH or Senate, but I really truly believe that having an individual out there who's has an interest for the township, I think is something that we need to do. And I wholeheartedly support it. I think it's a small amount of money to pay in consideration for the size of this project. I hope you would vote with us, Cal.
All right.
I think spending a small amount up front could save us a lot of money in future possible litigation in the future. So I think it's going to be money well spent. It's going to actually save us a lot of money.
I agree.
Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to place vehicles and equipment for sale on municipal bid. You have the list.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Motion to direct solicitor to send the solar ordinance to Allegheny County Planning for review.
Motion.
I'll second. Any discussions on this?
I'd like to hear a little more details about what exactly this is.
So this is an amendment to our zoning ordinance that would address residential solar structures, I guess you would say, right, John? I mean, is that a good description? So again, we don't have anything in our zoning right now that addresses residential solar panels, whether it be in the backyard, in the front yard, on their roof. This has already gone through planning for discussion. It's been recommended by our planning commission for approval. So the next step, because it's an amendment to zoning, would be to send it to the county for comment. So
Okay, that's just a normal step, is to send it to the county.
that's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Item 15, motion to purchase needed equipment and supplies to equip the township's emergency operations center not to exceed $5,000 with funds donated by Olympus Energy for public safety efforts and blight remediation.
So moved.
I'll second. So just as a little explanation, so Olympus had set aside some funds for the township. John spoke with Olympus to find out if there are strings attached, and that this can definitely be used for public safety efforts, which certainly Emergency Operations Center falls under that. The plan here is to equip an area of the municipal building office dedicated specifically to emergency operations, to include a computer, desk, files, two-way radios and so forth. John, would you add to that, please?
Yeah, it's to allow in a very short period of time for emergency management to set up a emergency operations center within the township. That would include several two-way radios so we can communicate with police, fire, EMS, Allegheny County. It would include some computers so we can monitor the dispatch and other incident statuses. It would include some status boards or dry erase boards, some equipment to make the 3 displays that are currently located in the conference room usable independently for different tasks as they may be needed during an event, and to get any other necessary supplies we may need to have on hand to have a fully functioning EOC when needed that could be activated within a very short period of time.
Worthy effort. Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzma,
Yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
President Walk.
Yes. Before we move on, I want to thank the board. Had a couple interesting ones tonight. This was good discussion. And I want to thank John for preparation of this agenda, along with you, Matt. You guys did a good job. Citizens to address non-agenda items.
I have Stephen.
Stephen, unmute.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thanks for letting me speak, John. I appreciate it. Before COVID, I had a conversation. This was about my 3rd conversation about the blight on Donna Drive and where this street is headed. There's quite a few of us that take really good care of our property. In the house across the street from me, I understand. I don't know what it is right now, but I can't find it on the Allegheny County website up for sheriff's sale or anything, but it is definitely a problem. 4 doors down from me, I talked about the people who park on their front lawns. I don't understand it, why the township has such a problem making it a code. I mean, you want people to live here, and I love the fact that you're trying to open up new residential stuff, but the thing is that if you go down this street, everyone here has a 4-car driveway or a 4-car long driveway, and they all park on the front lawn, like up at their front stoop. I mean, I don't understand the train of thought behind it. They're not handicapped. They're not disabled. They have every capability to park in their driveway. Is it laziness? They don't want to move a car. Mr. Snelson, this guy down the street from me, just got a T-Bird parked between him and his neighbor's house here recently. So not only does he have a boat, 2 construction trailers, a car trailer, 2 cars, and a truck now that he parks on the street, and he has a Thunderbird parking between his and his neighbor's house. Where's it going to stop with the township? And I know you have this thing on this blight when you want people to buy the properties, but I mean, I don't think anybody on here looking at me right now wants a neighbor that parks literally right up to their front door and they have a whole driveway that's empty. I don't understand. I'm at my wit's end with that one.
If Mr. President, if I may address some of that.
Please.
We are looking at that issue. It has been raised a couple other areas within the township. And it's one thing that is lacking in our ordinances we found. We do have an ordinance that requires you to utilize off-street parking if it's available. We do not have one that specifically states you should not be parking in your front yard. We are working at drafting and getting a new ordinance that would regulate that, and also that would regulate the storage of trailers, RVs, and really revamp some of the parking issues that we've found across the township. We have recently altered our abandoned vehicle ordinance that makes things a little simpler. But this is across the township one that we are looking at to address a lot of these issues, because you're not the first person to bring it up. It's been brought up in other areas. And unfortunately, under our current codes and ordinances, that was, I guess, not an issue at the time, parking in front yards, so it wasn't addressed.
Okay. I mean, I totally understand if a person has 4 cars, they have a kid that's home from college because of COVID. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a completely empty driveway and they got 2 cars on the street, or 4 construction trailers in their driveway and they're parking their cars on the street. Okay, so you get where I'm at with that. Before my minutes are up, is there a budget meeting scheduled for next year's budget? Do you guys have?
We'll be
a date
scheduling
for
that
that,
soon.
or?
We don't have a date yet, but we'll be scheduling that soon. You should see something coming up shortly on that.
I mentioned that a little bit earlier, Stephen. So it's going to have to be a specially called meeting, and it also has to be advertised, so it is a public meeting.
Okay.
And that will happen in early this week.
Okay. I did notice, I love the fact that what I was hearing, you guys kind of got in front of me tonight with making the new homes and stuff. The Aero Drive's a great opportunity. How do you think that would be presented? Would there be some type of bid placement? Who would get first dibs on those properties? John knows, I've approached him. I've been looking for.
We'll go through
property.
a public bidding process. Those lots are valued at more than $1,500 a piece. So they will be advertised for a public bid, and then there'll be sealed bids, and they'll of course go to the highest bidder.
Okay, so are we talking several properties of like a 1/4 of an acre, or are you talking the 60 by 90 traditional regular lot that Elizabeth Township has, like in the subdivision?
So there's 38 lots. Every one of them is 60 by 120. So you have an opportunity to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 lots if you want to build a bigger lot, or a minimum of the 60 by 120, but they're all the same size.
Okay, the sewer taps are all available currently, or is that something that is just too early to tell?
We talked about that earlier also. We have 24 sewer taps available for next year.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And
Sure.
John, I just hope you keep on top of that, because there is a few residents here that really do. We'd like to see that cleaned up. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
We are working on it.
Hey, John, just with what Stephen has said, what type of time frame do you think you'd be looking at for that ordinance?
I know me and Greg and I have, discussed it briefly. Some other ordinances have kind of pushed that back a little bit. We're trying to get 2 other ones out really quick and turned around. So we're hoping, to really get into it really in depth as soon as possible.
Okay. Do you think it'd be December, January? This is something I agree with Stephen. I think it's something we really got to jump on sooner rather than
Yeah,
later.
I'm going to say probably January we'd get a little further and hopefully maybe have a draft to the Board of Commissioners. It's just this one we have to pick a lot out of, because in the process of receiving some complaints about this, we found some parking regulations stuck in other parts of our code that you would not normally look for the parking requirements.
Okay.
So pulling that all out of different sections and getting it all under one.
Okay. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
John, are there any other citizens that have non-agenda item discussion?
That's all I've seen so far. Let me see if anybody by chance during the meeting has sent anything in email. And I see nothing.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Before we do that, are there any other items to be for the good of the township?
I have one thing, and I'm not saying we have to do this, but once again, I'm going to bring something up that we've done in the past for our employees. We have given them a $50 gift card for Thanksgiving. So it's up to the board whether they want to do that or not. I just thought I would throw it out there.
I'll vote yes to that.
I don't know how to look at that one. Budget shortfalls, Christmas, what do we do at Christmas?
It's in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Remember that. It's not Christmas. It's in the spirit of Thanksgiving.
I hear you.
I mean, it's up to you guys. I just wanted to throw it out there. It's kind of a way that we can show our appreciation.
So, this would entail using township money. So, it is something that the board has to decide upon as a group.
Right.
I don't know. I go.
Hey, Carl, can we just put it to a vote?
Yeah, I guess so.
You'd need a motion.
It's not like I've been here a long time, but we've been doing it for the past at least 5 years, as long as I've been here.
All right.
And I'm sure that, I know that COVID's negatively impacted the township, but I'm sure it's been harder on, the residents and the
Well,
employees. So
I just have a question. Do we give money to employees at Thanksgiving and Christmas?
No, just Thanksgiving.
I thought we did something for Christmas. I was mistaken.
Yeah, no, I believe
What,
Christmas
John?
also.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We've done, see, I don't remember doing that.
Yeah.
No, I remember going for both.
What would we do for Christmas? Give a $50 gift card too?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm as conservative as they come for spending money, but I'd be fine with doing one or the other. And I'd say I'd be fine for doing it for Thanksgiving. Since it's kind of, they've done it in the past. It cost the township about $1,900.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to $50 gift card for each of the employees of Elizabeth Township.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rocco,
Pass.
Commissioner Kuzma,
yes.
Commissioner Bekowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Algieri,
Yes.
Commissioner Roderick,
Yes.
Commissioner Poyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Walk.
Yes,
You have to go back to Rocco.
right.
Oh, Commissioner Rocco, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Adios. Good meeting, guys. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
See y'all.
Bye.